YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video we're here with the second episode of Washington football team weekly questions, where I answer you guys questions that you email me. And if you guys want to be a part of this series, make sure you guys email me at juangottiwft@gmail.com to submit your questions. Yet again, that is juangottiwft@gmail.com to submit your questions. And without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. And let's get straight into you guys' questions. Let's go. So first question comes from the three-time Super Bowl champ Skins. He says, "Hey Juan Gotti, I know a lot of Washington fans ain't talking about this now, but since it's the offseason, what do you think about the Redskins name change, and what do you think the new one will be?" So thank you, three-time Super Bowl champ Skins, for your questions, and he wants to talk about the Washington football team's name change, or formerly known as our beloved Washington Redskins. Me personally, I was a big advocate for Red Wolves at the beginning of the season, but then I seen Washington football team, and obviously we know when we first found out it's going to be called the Washington football team, we were all like, man, come on, the football team? Are you serious? But now as the season, went along, I'm like, the Washington football team, we're winning. Of course we weren't, good, but and a lot of people had, jokes and to say, oh man, you have no name, blah blah blah, you lost to the no names, you always will be trash and stuff like that. All the jokes they said, you guys know. But as the season went on, whether we were losing or winning, the name just grew on me. You know what I'm saying? The Washington football team. It just sounds normal and classy. Ain't no, Redskins, for all the people that hated the name, that really thought it was something racial to it. And I didn't think it was, obviously, because one, I'm a fan, and two, I'm not Native American, so I don't really know how people really feel about that. But all the people that are Native American that comment on my video say it's nothing wrong with the name. But obviously there is few out there that feel attacked by the name, and rightfully so, because Redskin is a vulgar term in the dictionary. But at the same time, I really didn't have an issue with it, and 99% of the fan base didn't either. I really like the old name, what I'm saying? That's what we grew up to know and love. But to get back on topic about the Washington football team name, that's what I want the name to be in the future. I really don't care anymore. It's Red Wolf, if it's Generals, if it's Seminoles, if it's the Boxes. I don't know, I'm just saying anything. If we're whatever, you know what I'm saying? The United. I know we have a soccer team in DC like that, but just if we're whatever, it's called the Blackhawks. Whatever we are, I'm still going to be a fan of this team. But me personally, if I had to put my input on it and what I think is most likely going to happen, I think we're going to stay the Washington football team. And honestly, that's what I think it should be. It's classy, it's normal, and hey, we got a winning season in a long time under it, so why not run it back with the second time? Next question comes from my man Ali Sadi. I don't know if I said that right, my man, but let me know down below. He says, "Sup one, I'm a big fan of Cam Curl and think Deshaun Everett is a solid safety as well because of tackling ability. Do you think Curl and Deshaun is our safety duo of the future, or do you think we should upgrade over Deshaun? Hell to the football team." So I appreciate your question, Ali. So Cameron Curl and Deshaun Everett as our safety duo for the future, I'm really down for it, honestly, to save us money and to try to attack other important needs. Safety was a big important need at the beginning of the year, but now speaking after the season and seeing how we played with the safeties as far as the back end, Cameron Curl, Deshaun Everett, Jeremy Reeves, we have some good safety depth, and we can always add on, you know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to go get Justin Simmons or Anthony Harris from Minnesota. I honestly wouldn't be mad if we got those guys, but it's not really a need. I'm a fan of rolling with Deshaun Everett and Cameron Curl into next year. And I don't know what we're going to do with Landon Collins, but I would not be mad if we rolled into 2021 with Deshaun Everett and Cameron Curl. They were really becoming a dynamic duo and, building that chemistry up in the back end. They had plays here and there where they would get beat, but who doesn't have plays when that happens? Deshaun Everett, hard hitter, loves to put his body on the line, you know what I'm saying? I love Deshaun Everett, man, and it was all about opportunity. He started on special teams and he worked his way up. And as far as Cameron Curl, unfortunately it came at an injury, but he was on go from the start. I really love Cameron Curl and I love Deshaun Everett. I love for them to be the duo for the future, man, because it saves us money, and honestly speaking, they really deserve to at least get an attempt at it. Next question comes from my man Rob Gilmore. Appreciate your question, Rob Gilmore. He writes, do you think the Washington football team should be all in on trying to acquire Deshaun Watson from the Houston Texans? Now, I answered this question a bit in the last episode. I don't want Deshaun Watson, not because his skill. He's obviously a top quarterback in this league, and he will honestly make us Super Bowl contenders. But I just feel like we'll be giving up too much, and we'll be having to take on that big contract. And on top of, giving up all that compensation like I stated previous. We're probably going to have to give up 3 first-round picks, a couple seconds, and some players. And also, we're probably going to give up some later-round picks. It's going to be way worse than that RG3 haul. You remember that haul that we had to do to move up in the draft? It's going to be cost us way more. And I don't mean way worse as in the player, but it's going to be way worse on our part for our future. So I don't think we need to get Deshaun Watson from a financial standpoint and our team future standpoint, because it's going to mess up our future, man. I would love to have Deshaun Watson as the player, but everything that we'll have to do to get him here, it doesn't seem right for our future that we're trying to build here in Washington. Next question comes from my man Evan Leeser. He says, who are your top 19 players in the draft in order and the way we should draft them and our team needs? We could probably get Trey Lance at 19, which I think is a success. It depends who we get at QB in free agency. Now, I don't have 19 players that I think we should draft. I do have positions of need, though. I think linebacker, outside of obviously quarterback and wide receiver, linebacker is up there, and it's possibly number 1 if quarterback isn't number 1 on some people's board. Need a star-studded middle linebacker. We can get the guy from Notre Dame, Jock. We can get Zaven Collins or Dylan Moses. We have, pretty good players that we could, pick from at 19, but that's all if they fall to 19. Guys like Micah Parsons, I don't see him being around, and you never know how the board is going to fall, but I think linebacker is a big need. We can get guys like that. As you guys know, wide receiver is a big position of need, and we can go, maybe Rashad Bateman, hopefully Waddle, Foster, but I highly doubt that. And those are just 2 good receivers that, comes off the top of my head at 19. But Ron Rivera, he made it abundantly clear that he wants a veteran receiver, so I doubt we draft one of those guys unless they just fall into our lap. And then with the quarterback position, you guys know I'm not the biggest Trey Lance fan yet, but if we do in fact draft him, I'm going to get behind him. He's a project. He's probably like a 2 to 3 year project, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a guy like Matthew Stafford in free agency or someone, and then let Trey Lance sit behind them and learn the system if we do in fact go that route. Next question comes from my man Neil Dorsett. He writes, hi Juan, watching your YouTube videos from down here in Australia, mate. Should we go all in and try to get Deshaun Watson? Dak had a great O-line and running back and receivers. He had a lot of talent around him. Deshaun Watson has had success with nowhere near the talent as Dak has had. Love the videos, mate. Go Skins. Appreciate you, man, for watching videos from Australia, man. That is crazy. Out of the country. I did not expect people to watch me out of the country. I didn't even know we had that many fans around the world. Now, I know football is starting to become global, but I didn't know a lot of people were Washington fans around the globe, man. I've been running to a lot of Washington fans from around the globe. Not people that watch my channel, of course. This is actually the first person that I found out that watched my videos from out of the country, man. So, really, I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot, Neil. And to answer your question, I already pretty much answered that. I don't want to trade for Deshaun Watson because he's going to cost too much. And you're right about Dak Prescott having a lot of talent around him. But I just like Dak Prescott because what he brings, leadership, he's humble, and he's just really good. And he's not going to cost that much, compensation than it's going to cost for Deshaun Watson. All we got to do is pay him that money. Now, it's going to be a lot of money. And I don't know if we're all in and trying to get Dak Prescott here for the amount that he's going to ask for. So, out of the two, I would go Dak Prescott route, but I'm really not sold on either unless it's a dream scenario. But if we do in fact get Dak Prescott, I'm going to be happy because that's my dream quarterback, as you guys know. But as far as me not being sold on him, I'm not saying from a talent standpoint, I'm talking from a financial standpoint. Next question comes from my man Nate Sullivan. He says, hey Juan Gotti, big fan of your channel. What do you think our linebacking core will be headed into 2021? And who do you think will be our #1 rival this season? Thanks, Nate. Appreciate your question. So who do I think our linebacking core is going to be in 2021? I think we're going to run it back with Cole Holcomb. I think we're going to bring back Kevin Pierre-Louis. I just think we're going to add a middle linebacker because Cole Holcomb, he can play the middle linebacker, and Chris Cooley said he could be that middle linebacker for us, but I think we need to either go get one in free agency or draft one, and I think that's the route they're going to go, whether that's first round, second round, third round, whatever it may be. I think they're going to go out and get a middle linebacker, like I said, possibly free agency too. But I honestly can't tell you who I think is going to be the middle linebacker. I can just tell you Cole Holcomb and Kevin Pierre-Louis will be right there. I just don't know who they're going to plug in the middle. Maybe John Boston again, which I'm hoping not, but that's worst case scenario. So I won't be able to tell you who is going to be in the middle, but I can tell you Cole Holcomb and Kevin Pierre-Louis will be there for sure next year, in my opinion. Next question comes from a Dooley Jing. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Once again, I apologize if I'm butchering your name. He says, "Hey Juan, what's up? Just wanted to know if we miss out on Stafford or Watson, how would you feel with getting Matt Ryan, and how would you also feel about getting Julio Jones maybe?" So here's the thing. Matt Ryan is really good still, but he just doesn't fit this offense. You know what I'm saying? We need a guy that's capable of moving around in the pocket, able to extend plays with his legs, and Matt Ryan doesn't bring that. He lacks mobility, and as you've seen with Dwayne Haskins, when this offense doesn't have a quarterback that can run, or that have a quarterback that can move his legs in this offense is complete trash. Scott Turner's offense is revolved around a guy that's able to extend plays with his legs, hence why Taylor Heinicke looked so good in it, hence why Kyle Allen looked good in it when he had his short period of time. So we need a quarterback that's able to extend plays with his legs. I think Matt Ryan is capable of being that for us, and as far as his counterpart Julio Jones, I don't want Julio Jones. He's still good, but I just don't want him. I think he's going to ask for too much money, and he's getting up there in age. Next question comes from my man Rasheed Fry. He writes, "Hey young brother, been a fan since 1972. Like what's happening in the land of the burgundy and gold, but a serious question. I know you've been talking about the new hires, but what QB can run this offense like or with the efficiency that Taylor and Alex did? I believe that the key to the next QB for us, if not then our Super Bowl ring goes on, how long could you hold on to him? Holla back." So I'm guessing you're asking if he can't win us a Super Bowl ring, how long will we be able to hold on to him? Now, the keys for our next QB, like you said, I don't really understand your question as far as, I don't know if you're asking who we should get. I think I made that clear that I would like a guy for agency like Matthew Stafford or Dak Prescott, but Dak Prescott is a little bit of a dream scenario, so I'm not sure if you're asking me who I think we should have or who do I think we should get as far as a quarterback that's going to be able to, run his offense efficiency enough as, Taylor Heinicke and Alex Smith. I think Matthew Stafford is the perfect quarterback for that system on, not really a cheap deal, but not too much of an expensive deal. Now, he can extend plays as good as the Deshaun Watson or Dak Prescott, but he still can, extend plays and make that good passes and plays, and he can bring that veteran leadership to the locker room. So that's the last question for today. I appreciate you guys for participating in the Q&A. If you guys want to be a part of this and want your question read by yours truly, the email is juangottiwft@gmail.com. And if you can't catch that by my voice, the link will be in the description down below so you guys can send your questions. As always, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace.